For the research methodology, we start with the research approach. We start with the introduction. For example, we say this section will delve into, this section will delve into or will shed light on the methodology followed the current study. And then I'm going to keep saying, for example, first the approach will be discussed. Second, the research questions will be restated because we already stated them in the introduction. Will be restated. So I'm going just to follow the outline. So research questions and hypothesis. I'm going to show you. So these are the things that I am describing here. Okay. So then we have data collection procedures, we have data analysis procedures, we have reliability and validity that we have already talked about, and we have ethical considerations. We can remove them because we are not doing any medical, any clinical trials here. So I'm going to just highlight this in bold. All right. So I'm going to continue the introduction. So the research questions and hypothesis will be restated. Third, let's say the sampling procedures will be described. Sampling procedures will be described. All right. Fourth. See what is the fourth step here. So it's the data collection procedures. All right, data collection procedures. Data collection procedures will be detailed. Let's say just change the words. Will be described in detail. Let's say will be let's say looking forward to data collection procedures will be detailed. With this word is good. We can change it later. Will be explained in detail. And I'm going to combine, because I think that I have done a lot of things, data collection procedures, data collection and analysis procedures. So I'm going to combine them. And finally, the reliability of the scales. The reliability scales will be reported. Okay, and here it is. So I'm going to just format this just to give us an impression that things have been done. All right, now let's go to the research approach. So the research approach is mixed method. So let's say the current study departs from pragmatic stance to knowledge, from pragmatic stance to knowledge. This means pragmatic stance to knowledge. This is like research philosophy that states we use research methods according to our needs. It is advocated by Creswell and Creswell, 2017. So to start, it stands to knowledge. Therefore, mixed approach. The approach is mixed method approach. I'm going to that uses both quantitative and qualitative data So quantitative data has to do with numbers, and qualitative data has to do with interpretations and open-ended questions like interviews, etc. Okay, so let's put the reference here. So I already know the reference, so it's Creswell the father, and Chris will the son. So since I'm reporting this tweak, I'm going to choose this sample, and Chris will the son 2017. It's research design, I think the 5th or the 6th editions, the last book that I've read, the last edition that is available. All right, so let's continue the current study departs from mixed approach that okay, we can say even triangulation can be used to methodological triangulation. In this regard, methodological triangulation, methodological triangulation will be adapted. It means that more than one research instruments will be used to cross-check the findings. And who said this? Another author whose name is Denzen. I like this author, Denzen, if I spell it correctly. 2015, 2013. I have the reference 2015. I can keep it. All right, so Denzen 2015. All right, that's it. So let's say we're done with the research approach. Let's say triangulating both quantitative triangulating research instruments is more likely to increase the reliability and validity of the findings to answer the research questions and test the hypothesis just to build on what is coming. All right, so we click dots. Let's move to the second section. So for the research questions, I'm going to say the current study, or this study instead of the current. This study aims to answer the following research questions. And I put column, and the first research question I put it RQ1. So it's like this, it's written like this. And let's say I'm going to just do it this way. So research question number 1, research question number 2, research question number 3. Let's put just 4 research questions. 2, 3, 4. That's it. So research question number 1. Let's say what are the psychological factors, let's say the common psychological effects students experience during COVID-19 distance education. Let's ask further specified questions. To what extent are students motivated to study during, and let's say copy this, during COVID-19 distance education. And let's say another question, is there any difference between male and female in terms of, say, motivation and other ecological factors during COVID-19 distance education. During, and the last question is, to what extent has COVID-19 to what extent has COVID-19 distance education impacted students psychologically? Okay, distance education impacted students psychologically. Okay, so these are the main research questions that the current study aims to answer. Similarly, the study aims to verify the following research hypothesis. And I put colon. So I already said research questions and hypothesis. I'm going to put here the interline too, because it's standard way in the APA style, and times New Romans 12. So this is right, something that is common. Anyway, so research hypothesis, I'm going to put hypothesis like H1, H0, and H1. H0 means it's null hypothesis. Null hypothesis means that there is no impact, of COVID-19 distance education on students' psychological factors. Impact of COVID-19 distance education on students' psychological factors. All right, on students' psychological factors, and to put examples like motivation, self-esteem, anxiety, self-efficacy, etc. Because we are specifying here. We're not talking about them in general, although we're talking in general, but we are specifying because we should not do something that is beyond the scope of the study. So this H1, I'm going to put it as like subscript, and then this is H0. For H1, it's the same point H1, which means the alternative hypothesis. I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to say there is, it's the same. I'm just going to copy and paste it. What I have to change is that there is an impact of COVID-19 distance education on students' psychological factors, motivations, and anxiety. Full stop. Now we are finished with the hypothesis. Let's move to the second section, which is sampling procedures. So sampling procedure within the research methodology. For example, I'm going to say that non-probability sampling was used to gather the data for the current research. So what is non-probability sampling in your opinion? Non-probability sampling was used to gather the sample for this research. Okay, so non-probability sampling, this means that every item in the population, that is of the whole number of students, does not have like an equal chance to be included in the sample. So this is called non-probability sampling, in contrast to probability sampling. So this is according to Kothari 2004. We can just give short definition. We can say that non-probability sampling means that not all individuals have like an equal chance to be included in the sample. I'm going to explain to you why I use this non-probability sampling instead of probability sampling, although probability sampling is powerful. So this is like the definition I got from Kothari. I'm going to open the brackets and put Kothari 2004 without having to put the page because it's reformulated definition. So it is an indirect quote. Okay, so this is for the sampling procedure. And then non-probability sampling, more specifically, I used voluntary sampling. What does it mean? So it means that the respondents have the chance to volunteer to answer the questionnaires. They are not obliged to do it, and they are not randomly selected. So we can say voluntary sampling was used to collect the data, was used to choose the sample as the study used Google Form online survey. Google Form online survey. All right. So students were asked to volunteer to complete the questionnaire. This may be biased somehow, but it's the only way can do it to gather data, especially during COVID-19. So students were asked to volunteer to complete the questionnaire, and I'm going to put the number of the students who did that. So number of let's say 100, number of 117 students volunteered. Okay, so the sample is like the blood sample. So you have when you go to a doctor or take the sugar of the level of sugar in blood, the doctor does not measure all your blood, the 6 letters in your body. He took just a sample and he measures it and he gives you the result. Number of 117 students volunteered to answer the questionnaire. All right, that's it. So this is the sampling procedures, and then I'm going to state the characteristics or the demographics. So I'm going to say number of 100. So like this one, it means n equals, so n, it means the number of the sample 117. Okay, and then according the R or 70. So this is I can use this table to state how many are male and how many are female. So here in female we have 73 female, and male we have 43. So I'm going to say 73 of them are female students with the percentage of, this is the percentage 62.9%. So I'm going to round it into 63%, and I'm going to put comma, and I'm going to say 42 of them are male students. Okay, are male students. I'm going to put again the percentage. 42 is 37%. So I'm going to put 37%. That's it. I'm going to remove the decimal because the female took it. So anyway, so in this case I have an idea about the gender. I can remove this table. Okay, I can remove it once I finish. I can remove it, so I should just keep numbers. Then I'm going to go to age. I'm going to go to age again, and I'm going to say as to the age of the respondents, average. I'm going to choose just the average. The average is so this is the mean, the average, which means that's the mean score. So it's 23.07. So it's 23. Okay, with standard deviation of 5.03. So the mean, which means that's what is the average the average age that is common among the sample, all of them. So their age like is 23. This is like the most frequent age, with a standard deviation of 5. This means that each respondent varies from the other in terms of age by 5 years. Since the unit here is the year, so standard deviation, it means how consistently one student differs from the other student in terms of age. So I'm going to say with standard deviation of 5 years. I'm going to put it like in terms of equation. So I'm going to put m, which means the mean, and I put equal, and I put 23, and I put comma, and I put SD, which means standard deviation, and I put equal, and I put 5, and I close the bracket. And this should be in italics according to the APA style. Okay, so this is how it is reported. So I can just remove again the age category. I can delete this table. Then let's move to the other one, because I already have this table, so don't worry about both them. We can get them back. So as to, I'm going to keep reporting as to the level of students. Okay, so the level of students you have S2, S3, S4, S5, or S6, sorry. So this is the frequency. So S2 and S3, there are 6 each, so we have 12. We can say 12 students. 12 students belong to this. 12 students belong to. I'm going to do it another way. We can say 6 students. 6 students belong to the second semester. Okay, and how many? So we have three, S3 and S4. I'm going to sum these values. So 6 plus 22 is like 28. I'm going to put 28 students pursue their educations, or pursue their education in the second year of the English department. Yeah, okay. To use, not pursue. Okay, this is how it is spelled. So in the second year, and put just dot, and I'm going to put the majority of the respondents or of the students study in the sixth semester. Okay. And I'm going to put the percentage here. So it's 70%. 0.7, put it between brackets, the majority of students, and I'm going to put here the frequency, 82. Okay, studying the sixth semester, so I'm done with the demographic data. I'm going to remove this table again. Okay, so this is for writing, because the methodology is written along with with data analysis. So I'm going to show you in species how I got the frequencies of this information. So I'm going to go to analyze this species, go to descriptive statistics, go to frequencies, and I'm going to move gender, so control gender, age, level. We can just do without the age, so gender and level, move it here, go to statistics, don't take anything for the charts, we don't need anything here. Okay, so we click OK, display frequency tables, and here are the frequency tables. You see, this is the first one about gender, the second one about the level. But for the main age, so I'm going to go to analyze, descriptive statistic, go to descriptives. I'm going to move age and go to options, and I'm going to take mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. Click OK, and then click OK, and here is the age. So we have like 115 in the number of the respondents. The minimum age is 18 years old, the maximum age is 47 years old, and the mean age is 23.2 or 02, and standard deviation of 5.03. So you just have to report these values. So we already did it. So now let's go to data collection procedures. Data collection procedures, we are going to set questionnaires and the other instruments. We're going to say that both the questionnaire and the interviews were used to collect the data for the current study. And I'm going to describe the questionnaire. So I already described it using this table. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it near me so that I can copy from it some stuff. So the questionnaire has been adapted from Pinterest from the questionnaire skills. So I'm going to put to specify have been adapted from Pinterest et al. Means and others 1992. Where are the other scales? The other scales have been adapted from different authors. I think even test and anxiety has been adapted. So the questionnaire scales on motivation and test anxiety. Motivation and test anxiety, self-efficacy. I think even test anxiety and self-efficacy. Alright, have been adapted. Whereas the other scales on, especially on attitude, have been adapted from different authors. That's it. So I'm going to see Appendix A. I'm going to put Appendix A because we are going to insert it in the first appendix. And it's format this. And then I'm going to describe the items of the scale. So, or the items of the questionnaire. So the questionnaire consists of four. So it's not 51, it's 41, right? 41. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to remove this. Okay, for the interview, we say like an unstructured interview. An unstructured. Explain. So an unstructured interview has been used to provide more in-depth exploratory qualitative data, which means that we need to explore what other people experienced during COVID-19, that distance education that have not been these things that have been experienced that have not been like caught using the questionnaire instruments. So this is what this means. That's it. So we keep it like this for the data collection procedures. For the data analysis procedures, I'm going to say both descriptives. The data, let's say, was analyzed quantitatively. The data. The data obtained from the study. This study has been analyzed has been analyzed. So here you describe, in this section, you describe how you analyze the data that you collected using the questionnaire. Okay, so has been analyzed using descriptive and inferential statistics. I'm going to explain this. Descriptive and inferential statistics. All right, so descriptive statistics consists also the former, which means descriptive. The former consists of the mean and standard deviation, frequency, and percentage. So this is what descriptive. You just describe the data. You say, for example, how many are male, how many are female, what is the percentage of each. Like the mean number of age, that is the average age students have, which is 23, how each student differs from the other, that is standard deviation. So this is how so what descriptive statistics mean. For inferential statistics, although we use that kind of non-probability sampling, we are going to go for inferential statistics with mentioning this as limitation. So inferential statistics were used to infer the correlation between different psychological factors experienced by students. During COVID-19 disease education. COVID-19 distance education. I'm going to format this section, and then I'm going to state the software that I have been, the software that has been used. So I in fact use two software without S. We don't say softwares because it's not plural. So I used Excel and I used spaces. So I'm going to say two software were used. Software is like an uncountable. It does not reflect this kind of S plural. Anyway, we can say two software programs just to make it somehow. We used to analyze the quantitative data generated by the questionnaire. Namely, I'm going to state which, so it's spaces. I'm going to state its false. It's called statistical. For name, statistical package for social sciences. So in short, it's called spaces. And I put here version 26. So it's the last version that is available in the market. Version 26. Okay. I'm going to format this. Okay, and Excel version 2016. And Excel and Microsoft Office Excel, Microsoft Office Excel version 2016. So I have the latest version. So there is the latest version of Excel 2019 and guess 2020. So, but anyway, I have just this version of 2016. That's it. So this is the data analysis procedure in brief. Let's go to the other. So I'm going to start analyzing the reliability of the scales. I want to see whether the items of the scales are reliable or not. So this is what is called Cronbach's alpha reliability. I'm going to show it to you. It's written in the data, in the research methodology. It's called reliability. Reliability is whether an instrument can be interpreted consistently across different situations. According to Field 2013, page 12, reliability determines if the research instrument consistently provides the same results. Data was collected from the online survey Chromback alpha produce internal consistency more than 7. So if it is more than 7 for all the scales, this is like a good indicator that the scales are reliable, are that is they are consistent. So I put them in this table. So I already designed this table, and I put the scale, the title of the scales: intrinsic motivation, extrinsic test anxiety, attitude, self-confidence, self-efficacy, and the number of items of each scales, and then the Chromback alpha for each scale. So how did I get this Chromback alpha from spaces? So I'm going to show you how this has been done. So let's go back to spaces. I'm going to go to analyze, and I'm going to go to scale and choose reliability analysis, and then I'm going to choose the first scale. So I'm going to change. Okay, so I already numbered them to remember them like this. The first scale, I'm going to move it and go to statistics, keep it like that. The scale if item deleted, so I can choose anything that I would like in case I want to cut down on the number of items. So I'm going to just keep it alpha here from the model. Okay, and then click OK, and boom, here is the Chromback alpha, this one. So the Chromback alpha, so we have like number of items 4, and you have Chromback alpha of 0.71. so I just like write the number in this case. So I put the first scale, intrinsic motivation, and I put the Chromback alpha of 0.71. I'm going to do the same procedure with the extrinsic motivation till I finish all the scales. So this is like somehow laborious. I'm just going to go over like scale by scale. So I'm going to click reset, and then go to choose the other scale. So the other one, I'm going to click control and move the variables to the items, then choose alpha and click OK. And here is the other the Chromback alpha of the other scale, that is 0.857. so I'm going to report it again here, 0.857. so I'm just going to choose just 2 decimals, not 3, and I can round the number in case it is necessary. Then I'm going to do it with test anxiety, attitude, self-confidence, self-efficacy till I finish all of them.